nurses and pharmaceutical reps are like
it was pharma girls back in the day, but I was dying when I saw it. I was laughing my ass off, and I'm like, that's kind of fucking funny. But like the fact they compared it to strippers made me laugh.
Well, I will say that the majority of like what do you call them? Like when you're on Instagram and it shows you like those reels and stuff.
Yeah.
So many times when it's a chick and they're doing that like pop off thing, they're wearing nurse scrubs.
Oh, okay.
So many times. So I don't know. I didn't know if that was just supposed to be some sort of like role playing thing or.
But maybe it actually is a lot of nurses.
Right. Well, no, I do think there's some truth to it. Absolutely. I mean, it goes all the way back to the naughty night nurses and.
Oh. Was it Nightingale syndrome?
I forget. No. I'm talking about like.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Go again.
I was like, I just remember some fucking movie where they're like, okay, we got to check you out of the hotel, and it's like, oh, there's some movie charges here. We have naughty night nurses 5 through 7.
That was before so back in the day, there used to be something called pay-per-view. And when you went to hotels, you could...
Is it like a sheet of paper?
Yes. And you pay. You click it.
Not pay-per-view.
I know.
Pay-per.
No shit.
But not paper.
I was alive during tapes, right?
No, I'm just checking. It's sometimes things get lost in translation.
Like all you can eat sushi where they give you the sheet and you fill it out. Yeah. You had to fill out which nurses you wanted.
All the nurses. He picked 1 through 7.
Pick 1 through 7. And they judge you if you're not diverse enough.
Oh, damn. Hey, luckily I'm Arabic.
They give you that look.
Oh yeah, I mean you're getting.
That was a double.
Yeah, you're getting judged anyway.
Yep, exactly.
Judging the fuck.
And so everybody, welcome to Ty.
Oh shit, we're starting.
What are we got?
Did you almost fall in the chair?
No.
Oh.
I forgot the name of our show. Effing around.
We're gonna start putting like a billboard or something up over there, like light up.
I've been to some job fairs. I go to job fairs now and then. And I'm always getting people that are like, "Oh, you got anything in film? Anything in film? Anything in film?"
Mike and Joe.
I'm Mike.
I'm Joe.
Anything in film? Anything in film? And I'm looking for like people to work with kids and stuff. But maybe we could use some interns. Somebody to hold a cue card for Mo. Stand over here so Mo knows what to say.
But if they do, can it be like Van Wilder when they used to do like, remember the what was it? The Tutors? Come on, where they put the answers up. If you got it right, the clothes came off.
Oh yeah, the old Billy Madison.
Yeah, exactly. But with that, we have to start the ritual. Mo, why don't you debrief us on what the new flavor is?
So we opened up a new bottle of black currant or shot energy shot beverage. It's a black currant and lime. Is that what it was?
That's what it says.
All right, I couldn't see the but either way, we cheated and tried it out like a day or so before, and it was fucking amazing. It was so good. I think I actually might like this just like a little bit better than the first one that we had, which was the what was it? The
mango peach.
The mango peach. Even though the other one was fucking fantastic too. This one seems a little bit less.
I'm not doing full syrup this time.
So actually, I brought out soda water so you can mix it.
Right.
Okay.
So
or vodka, which from Joe's. Or you can do a vodka soda.
We are. Let's see. It's about midday on Sunday, and as you guys
perfect
know,
timing then for vodka.
No, for you,
yeah, for you.
For you, Mike here has a job come Monday morning. So
what's that?
Wait, you work? Wait a minute. I thought the agreement was nobody works.
But I also brought it out, so I figured after we do it, I'll pour us a little more. We can all have a little mixed drink if we want to.
Let me.
Cheers.
Well, that fizzed up real nice. All right, cheers, brothers.
Cheers.
Hey, these
and
cups are fucking fine.
And what?
Say it.
What am I saying?
What is
shout out to Shot.
Oh, shout out to Shot.
Shot. That is delicious.
Soda water too.
Oh yeah, that was much better with the soda water. Shot knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Look, you want to be a Bart Simpson and go all syrup, go for it. But all I'm saying is, the scientists in the Shot Beverage Lab, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Do. But while we're on our little setup,
I did want to add in a little bit more. So first of all, we started using the pump that they had given to us, which is fucking awesome as hell.
Makes it a lot easier and a lot less mess.
It does, very much so. A lot less of the stickiness all over the bottle, like we had last time.
Well, not so much.
That sounds like a personal problem, Mo.
And it was. Actually, it was. It was Mo's personal problem. See, and now here's my take on that. So, and I'll tell everybody. So we wanted to open it up, just kind of get it open. Like, all right, let's open it up. Let's pop it in the fridge. Let's get a pump on it. Let's do this one right the way that Shot wanted us to put it together. What we didn't think about though was what's that scientific phrase called?
Physics.
But the part of physics where you put something into you add something.
Water displacement.
Water displacement. That's a good way. That's a better way. The term I was thinking. So, Shot in their effort to bring you as much value as possible,
which is insane. In America, that does not happen.
To bring you as much value as possible out of each of their containers, they fill it to the brim.
They really did, though.
Now, our buddy Mo here.
I didn't think about it.
He's not much of like
the education system has changed since Mike and I went to school. They did not teach about displacement.
Well, look, we don't know where he was in the world when displacement was being touched. But we know it wasn't being taught physics. At least not the everyday physics. The less kinetic physics, let's call them. So as soon as he started to put the pump into the bottle, it started to overflow. And did he stop right away?
Nah, he was like Bucky Larson. He kept going.
It was like, hey, I can get this down and screwed in before, and then
some of this is being lied about.
I want to say this is just my observation. I didn't touch it.
Yeah,
hey,
I just watched.
Opinion is protected by the truth.
Yeah. Hey, is this America? No. I thought this was America.
America.
I thought this was America.
This is America.
So there's not as much in this one right now because we did lose a little bit.
And wait, also, let's say Mo did some to get the video out. He finally got the Flower Expo out, so shout out to Mo there. Thank you for that one. We needed that finally done.
Only took a month.
Yeah, when did we go to the Flower Expo? Was it March?
Almost
March, right?
Yeah, it was March.
Like March 20-something, right?
Yeah, March 20-something.
It was a month ago to the day, basically.
And we are in, today is like April 20-something.
I think it was like the 25th or the 25th.
Yeah, it was a month ago almost to the day.
Yeah.
I will say, I reached out to Galaxy Labs, which were, really cool to us there. He hasn't answered me yet.
Oh, that's sad.
So I'm worried that he may have forgotten us. And I thought I was pretty clever with my delivery. I was like, hey, sorry, I think I had too many free samples that day. I lost your card. But I found it, and I wanted to touch base.
No, I mean,
Galaxy, if you're listening, hit me up.
We love them. They're super nice. But you also got to remember, sometimes we can't take it too personally. I mean, look what I'm currently doing and how that affects the whole industry and what we're pushing out there. Some people might not be happy about it.
Yeah. That's true. Look, it could be that, somebody, they went and looked and like, oh, wait, that's who I just talked to?
Like, whoa.
Right, it's like...
they probably all hate being on the filming right now. They're like...
Yeah, because none of them they all liked us and followed us, and now they're like, no acknowledgement.
No, these people are not the people we should have followed and liked.
Well, no, it's just, look, it's... We represent a bit of a... If you're fucking around, we're gonna find out.
Right.
Kind of a thing.
Right. But and then a lot of people don't appreciate that because they prefer it to be like
business as usual.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. They don't want the status quo disrupted. But look, if you're somebody who was in the area of what was going on, then you may think that I lost my train of thought.
Yes.
So for anybody who's listening and not watching the video, Joe pulled something out of his pocket. Joe.
So it's funny. I was shopping with my mom. We were out there before we went to Alex's birthday lunch. Shout out to Alex for her birthday. Ryan's wife.
Happy birthday,
yeah.
Alex.
Yep. So next door, it was like some Polish grocery store. I've never been in before, and I was there, and I saw by the grocery store at the checkout, it said Dubai chocolate. This stuff that's all over Instagram and TikTok, where there used to be like $1 million chocolate, something stupid, but someone basically, they took the recipe and they started replicating and selling, and there's a whole lawsuit. So I grabbed it, I bought it, I told Mo was like, I'm dying to try it. I'm like, so I've had it for over a week now?
Yeah.
And I haven't opened it. Anyone who knows me with sweets, I go through it. So I waited for us, so while we're on the show, I could open it up. We can all try it together while we're sitting around talking.
I'm seeing a green hue in the middle of that chocolate bar.
Pistachio.
Pistachio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of made me lose my train of
Oh,
thought.
yeah, there was like weed in there.
Well, yeah, because we're talking about the flower show. Joe pops out a bar of chocolate and starts waving it around, and I am trying to read it while also reading the package while also trying to talk about whatever I was trying to talk about.
Yeah. You're supposed to crank it outside because you hear the click.
No, you
what?
That was the whole thing about it, wasn't it? I thought that was it. Or is it the bite that you makes it crack or some shit like that?
Girl, we ain't TikTok bitches like that.
Hey, yes, we are.
Oh,
Today we are.
Not like that.
Today we are.
Holy shit.
Right? This is
an entire...
It's a chocolate bar in itself. Each
I mean, it literally looks like it's stuffed with weed, though.
Yeah, it really does. So let's talk. So this is what the famous Dubai chocolate bar is, and I made sure we're trying to, as a team, instead of me eating it like a fat ass.
Is it Dubai, like Dubai, Middle East?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it
Dubai, Lebanon.
Look, I get it.
No.
I'm not... What?
I don't know.
Aren't you Lebanese?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So,
Pretty sure those are different countries, but...
cheers, boys.
All right, cheers to chocolate. Okay.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
Got a nice little crunch to it, too.
Yeah. Not as like overpowering as I thought it was gonna be. Looking at it from the outside.
Thinking it was like straight green. So
No.
when I first saw the video too, I thought it was an edible.
Yeah.
I am gonna say that I think this is made differently than what like the actual one is.
No, 100% probably.
Of course, you did
one-
it wrong, Joe.
No. What do you mean he did it wrong? Fuck you. I'm saying like at least from the videos I've never tried it, but like it always looked like I don't know, more fucking like more like larger chunks of like pistachio in there.
So I'm guessing that's because it's fresh, and then this has to be made, preserved, and
Maybe
Sent
that's
This is pistachio butter.
yeah,
right.
You know, this is not like
pretty good though.
Everybody who's listening to us hates us right now.
Yeah.
You're chewing right in the mic. The both of you guys are.
ASMR baby.
the one time Mo doesn't want our faces in the mic.
Yep.
I do want to put this down though, because this is a big ass piece of
That
chocolate.
is fat.
I'm not gonna eat this whole thing right here, right now.
We got the last piece too.
Also, because I'm already a fat piece of shit. So
Mo's the one that was dying for it. When he was like, "Oh my god, I wanted to try that." I'm like, "Uh-huh."
I have been wanting to try that for a while. Thank you, Joe. So earlier, I was at Rob's place, who is also a producer for us for the show.
yeah, he's one of our equipment producers,
Yes, he is.
backers.
And when I was over there, they had like the news on, and I saw one of the funniest things. At least I thought it was fucking hilarious about how.
And this is how we get canceled. Continue on.
How apparently Kim Kardashian was in Paris recently, and she got mugged by what's called the Grandpa Gang.
Wait, again?
I don't know. Did this happen before?
Oh, okay. So I think I know what you're talking about. Her hotel room. She didn't get mugged.
I heard she got held down and completely robbed.
She was held down.
She got held down and robbed.
Okay, so this may be new news because Paris Fashion Week a few years ago, her hotel got robbed.
Oh.
Okay, and she lost millions in jewelry.
Okay.
And I had just recently seen that like one of the main guys who was being looked at was just mysteriously found dead.
Oh.
And he was like kind of complaining that there were like criminal elements that had been kind of harassing him. And then it went into some of the other people that were involved with that. Like,
so I don't know if it's that same thing or not, but
I looked it up. It is from the 2016 one. What it is it's in the news now because they're facing trial and she has to testify.
Other than the trial thing though, one of them just straight up said that, oh yeah, I was involved in this and wrote a book talking about how happy and how good of a thing it was, and people over there are calling him a fucking anti-hero and praising him, which is why I thought it was kind of funny because the reason apparently in France they don't like people who like flaunt their like wealth, and that's all she was doing apparently when she was over there, so it pissed off a lot of people.
Isn't that what she's famous for?
But no shit.
Isn't that what fucking Paris is famous for?
Yeah, right?
I mean, I get it, the whole French Revolution, let them eat cake, off with their heads, bullshit, but I mean, they've got some of the most bejeweled buildings and statues that, you know.
And art.
Art, like, But okay, whatever. She wasn't being classy with it, I guess.
But
she was being an ugly American. With
it, like a lot of people are actually in France praising the fuck out of her, and happy as shit that like this happened. And I thought it was just that was the first time I've ever heard this story. I thought it was fucking hilarious based off of like how this guy was like talking. He was like, "Oh yeah, I don't care. Like we did it." And I was like, "What the fuck?"
I guess some of them were saying they didn't even know who she was. They just thought it was a random rich person.
Right, so that's what. So maybe, the thing I saw when it was talking to like they're kind of listing guys in different parts of the heist, and it was just some bartender who like told the guys like that he had heard some big American celebrity was coming and was flashing jewelry all over Instagram. They had no idea who they were hitting. They didn't care.
But apparently, like, all right, so she said that they held her down on the news. They had an interview with her, and she said,
I don't know about holding her down, but the only thing I caught in a couple seconds I looked was they held her at gunpoint.
Well, her words were, and a little bit of paraphrasing with it, right? Was she was basically held down and. She had nothing underneath what she was wearing, and I was like, oh, I feel like that's like what everybody has. Though I'm not wearing anything underneath what I'm wearing, other than my fucking boxers. But underneath that, it's fucking nothing, I'd imagine, like, I don't know what the fucking level it is that she was dressed like.
Yeah, they took $10 million in jewelry.
Oh, shit. That's crazy. That's actually kind of crazy.
Were you alive in 2016?
No, I don't think so.
I
think that might have been the year I was born.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
I mean, it seems like it, just because, it's kind of a big deal.
What's a big deal?
It was kind of a big deal.
Kim Kardashian getting robbed?
Yeah.
Yeah,
was it?
She was wearing just a robe.
Oh, was she? Oh, yeah, okay. All right, that makes sense.
It.
All right. Yeah, she didn't specify that, but that's what I'd like.
She was talking about her fear that they were going to assault her.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Of the $10 million, $4 million of it was the wedding ring from Kanye.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, like which they showed that like it was a fucking fat fucking piece of jewelry on.
It looked like a mini World Series ring.
Basically.
It looked like it was a double-sized World Series ring. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But I just thought it was fucking hilarious about the Grandpa Gang is a name for those group of fucking guys who did this. It's such a silly fucking name. And like I feel like you'd watch this or you'd see this in like fucking like a South Park or American Dad episode or something.
There is a movie.
Is there?
Yeah, there's a movie with what's his name, Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman, some other people maybe.
Well, this was probably
Alan Arkin. No.
It's the bank robber one.
Yeah, and they're bank robbers. They're old men. They're bank robbers. Sometime in the last, I'm gonna say 10 years.
Yeah, it was.
Right. Sometime,
I feel like I might have heard about that.
You're probably a toddler or whatever.
It's the job of the new generation to take care of the elderly.
Right. So in the movie, like the one dude witnesses a bank robbery.
Uh-huh.
Right. And the old guy kind of has like a little issue during the robbery. Right. And the robber like picks him up and like lets him sit in a chair. And he's like, why'd you do that? He goes, we got to take care of, society's judged by how they treat their old people. Right. And that kind of like sparked something inside of him. Right. So then he and his friends, they're like, we're getting screwed over right now. Like, we're old, we're retired, and, prices are going up, and, our, whatever, our cost of living is going up, and we don't have extra money to do it. And
we got to do something.
Right. So they decide to rob a bank.
Okay.
And they basically, I'm not going to ruin it because maybe it's something we want to watch together because you haven't seen it. But yeah, it's a good movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We got to start doing a Mo list.
That's basically what we've got.
I mean, like somewhere, like online somewhere, we could put up where like this is the Mo list. Of the things that
but not something that other people can edit because it'll get out of hand.
Yeah, exactly. This is the Mo list of the things in life he's missed.
Right, and I mean, I'm already planning to steer it off course. So you just imagine what the rest of the internet would do.
Exactly. Did you see that one guy who actually opened his Word document and went online and did like some Reddit posts? And he's like, I want you guys to write my term paper for me.
Yeah.
And it was like hundreds of thousands of people went on there at the same time.
Yeah, like 500,000 people in like 6 hours.
We're editing his term paper.
I mean, to where in some places it was just like cock and balls written 20,000 times. Like, but he's got like this time lapse video of it where it's like, it'll go 50 pages, one sentence, like up and down, like
dying.
Serious shit to like non-serious shit. You know, and you just wonder like how long like was somebody else editing it before somebody else was like changing it already.
He did turn it in though, right?
I have no idea how it ended.
This guy better have fucking turned it in.
I have no idea how it ended.
But he asked the world to do it.
It would be funny if it wasn't actually supposed to be a term paper and it was supposed to be like a report on human society,
right? Because that would be considered cheating.
Yeah,
you didn't write it.
Right.
So the video, I bet you the time span recording was actually what his report was.
Yeah. No, I think that's more likely. Yeah. Like he went on there and said it was a term paper. Yeah. And I think you're right. The actual project was probably more about what will society do when somebody asks for help.
It's kind of like that friendly robot. Remember when all over the world, it was all over Europe, Asia.
Did it make it all over the world?
It made it to Philadelphia and then it got killed.
Right. That's what I remember.
It went all over the world.
God bless America.
It went all over the world. In its first city in America, people mugged and killed a fucking robot.
It entered Philadelphia. It did not leave. Brotherly love.
It made the whole fucking world until it made America.
Yeah, I want to say it started somewhere in Asia, Australia, New Zealand, somewhere in that vicinity. And then it was like, I just remember like it was like, oh hey, look, this robot, like, because what it would do is when they got to like a coast or something, they put it on a boat or a plane or whatever and just ship it to the next coast, right? And then just let it go again, because it couldn't go through the water, obviously. So that's all they would do is when it got to a border, they would just move it. They'd do what they had to do to get it to cross the next border. So that's what it was doing, and it got to like it hit the. I don't remember if Philly was the first place it hit. All I know is it got to Philly and it didn't leave.
I would love if it was just the first place and that's it.
I thought it was the first
Charlie
place.
Day came out and said, "Now you can't leave."
The implications were there.
They were always there.
Yeah.
It's all about the implication.
Oh man. Yeah, speaking of Charlie Day and It's Always Sunny, did you ever see the Wrexham team? You ever follow their football team?
Follow it? No. But I'll check in like if they put some like shorts online or something. I've never watched the show.
So I don't really watch the show, but I just like the team because I like the business maneuver. They picked it up for like $2.5 million, like a little over 3 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. Now it's doing $25 million a year in revenue,
and they're still underwater.
Yeah, $25 million a year in revenue. They bought it for 2.5. Massive brand endorsements, partnerships across the border, and they turned this small little team. It's gone up 3 rankings because you know how the football works. Where it's gone up the last 3 years in a row, and it's like almost to the Premier League now.
Yeah, I mean, and that was, I remember they said that was their goal, was to get the club back into the Premier League where they haven't been in like decades.
No shit.
Because that's what happens when you suck. Like it'd be like if we had like the MLB, because that's probably the most amount of teams we have in the country. If I had to guess, if not basketball, but still, it would be like if you had a quarter of the amount of teams that are in those major leagues right now are the top of the major league,
right? And
then every quarter under after that is its own league, but it's a step down, right? So it's not necessarily that you're not a pro anymore. You're like, I don't know. It's weird how they do it. I only really learned. Semi-pro? Not even semi-pro, because that would be like your farm teams and stuff.
So the reason I learned so much is because of Ted Lasso. You guys watch?
That's what I was going to say. I only know this because of Ted Lasso.
So how it works, according to Ted Lasso, is if you make first place, you move up a level. If you make last place, you're relegated, was the word, right? You're relegated down. So there's multiple levels and tiers, but you have to make sure you stay in the top to stay in it, right? Or you have to win to go up.
I might have seen the fucking movie. The more you explained it to me,
it was a TV show.
Or was it a TV
on
show?
Apple TV.
Then it wasn't.
As long as they bring it back for another season too.
It was.
Yeah, I didn't see the last one because I gave up on Apple TV and then it came out.
I forget what fucking movie it was that I saw that had like something similar to that, where like
Major League.
Maybe. I don't know. Dude, there was just all I know is a comedy fucking movie with
baseball.
No, it wasn't baseball.
Major League.
It wasn't baseball.
Soccer.
There was a soccer.
Football?
I don't know. I think it was a basketball thing. Actually.
Oh, semi-pro with Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Probably that one.
Could have been semi-pro.
Coffee Black.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Could have been
Alley-oop.
But anyway, what else? You had something. What did you say earlier?
Remember, he blacks out. He doesn't know what he said.
I forgot. Yeah, I blacked out.
Are you talking about before we went off on the chocolate tangent?
Yes. Yeah. No. Oh no. 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 I don't care about what you were talking about with that. I stopped
wow.
You know?
That was rude.
I know.
He was like, I was happy. I was happy you did that. He's still picturing being Kanye's cousin.
Oh, Kanye's cousin. That's what the fuck it was.
So you look at me and you think Kanye's cousin?
Yeah.
Because you want to suck my dick?
Yeah.
How much want to bet he edits this out later? If Mo was ever to edit out something he said, that would be it.
According to Kanye, according to Kanye, the cousin didn't suck any dick. He did.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at me and you see Kanye's cousin, you see a murderer and a guy who gets his dick sucked.
Is his cousin a murderer also?
Oh yeah, he killed a pregnant woman and went to jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Double homicide.
And then said that Kanye sucked him off after that.
No. Kanye said after he stopped sucking him off that the cousin went on to commit this crime.
Oh, so Kanye was keeping him good.
Pretty well, I guess.
Yeah, but here's the question, and
he was relieving a lot of stress that the guy made.
How do you think? I bet you everyone in prison knows he's Kanye's cousin, right? It was probably one of those things that helped him, right? Now it's a big black mark on him.
No, you think so?
There's definitely
because now
there's definitely marks on him.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
and they are coming
it's
from
a different type of marking. I think.
Men.
Yes,
yes, right. That's the type of mark that I'm thinking about.
Yeah, that's what I meant by mark. Like
I feel like he was already that though. Probably got worse. No.
You don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know how he was, but
Remember,
I'm saying
he got his dick sucked. Kanye didn't say that the cousin sucked him off.
Like I've heard a couple.
He said he sucked his cousin's dick till he was 14. That's fucked up.
No shit.
Yeah, like years.
Young.
You know, and it was weird. Like the whole story of how it my dad had these Playboys or whatever, and then he just goes into, but we found my mom's magazines. And they looked different. So we started acting out what we were seeing. I was like, what?
Yeah, really weird.
Really weird.
Okay, yeah. No, I heard about it, but I did not go at all.
Yeah.
That fucking in depth. What the fuck?
Yeah, this was all like as for the release of the song.
Of a song he released.
Because the new album was called Cousins.
Yeah.
Wait, what? No, what the fuck?
You are like the worst producer of all time.
Wait, I'm a producer. I'm not a producer.
Know what's going on.
No,
I shouldn't need to know what's going on.
I will say, look, I'm not going to harp on you too much because I do kind of like teaching people shit sometimes, and it's cool that you're not pretending to not to know because then we are kind of giving. We're getting, real legit reactions from you right now, which is cool. However, you did bring it up.
No, I didn't bring it up. I brought up fucking what's her name?
No, and then you were like, Mike, what are you talking about?
Oh yeah. No, I brought it up. And then you were like,
Kanye's cousin.
I brought it up because when I said that I want to talk about Kim, then I don't know. One of you guys said, oh yeah, and Kanye's cousin, and that's why I said,
well, my head always goes to Ray J every time I think of Kim.
Same.
Do you miss the reference?
No, I know the fucking reference. God damn.
But that is how we got to the topic.
Yeah.
That's how she got to the top.
Well, God damn.
Too hairy to be a she. Never fool me.
Was that Kanye's cousin, not Kim?
Oh my god.
I was talking about you.
But I mean, since the Super Bowl, right when we first started looking at his tweets, remember he was going crazy right around. The fact he's still going crazy like that, I don't even know what to say anymore.
All right, wait. So he releases an album called Cousins, and then his cousin goes out and says,
No.
Okay, so in the past, before Kanye was famous, when he was pre.
No, I'm saying I know he didn't fucking suck him off after he became famous. I'm saying after he released the album, or then the cousin says this, or
no. The cousin didn't say shit.
The cousin's in prison.
Cousin's in prison. He doesn't want anybody to know this shit.
Yeah. Cousin's in prison. He's the one that he was talking about murdered the pregnant woman.
Right.
He's in prison for life.
Right.
So Kanye is dropping a new album, right? And on the eve of dropping it, he let out a bunch of tweets.
Oh, Kanye himself.
Yes. And
shit! I thought the cousin made a fucking statement, and that's what the fuck it was.
So Kanye came out, and it was like, so my cousin, blah, 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 he's in jail for, murdering a pregnant woman and her baby, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, so when we were kids, we found these magazines and, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And, my dads were Playboys, but which is weird because he talks about his dad's Playboys and then goes right into, but we didn't look at those. I
did hear that Kanye loves ass play.
We found a different kind of man. He didn't say, it was Playgirl or whatever, but he's like, we found a different magazine in my mom's drawer and we didn't really know what it was, but we started acting it out. And then and then it just like,
they didn't know what it was.
Right. And then like in the next tweet or something, it's like, I sucked my cousin's dick till I was 14. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
He goes, and then when I said we can't be doing this anymore, he went out and killed this woman, and now he's in prison forever. And I'm coming out with this new album. It's called Cousins.
Okay, for legal reasons, he paraphrased that and shortened it. And there's probably a lot more in there, but yeah that's the gist.
Right.
What the fuck?
Right, because I mean, you're probably the only person listening in our listening space right now that doesn't know that much about it.
Yeah,
I guess.
all I saw is like barely about like. I'm doing the fucking.
Thank God Joe and I are here to fucking pick up on these current events.
That's okay. I appreciate you guys over here. That's why.
How are we supposed to be a news source if you don't even pay attention to the news?
Because
unless a plane hits a building, you have no idea what's going on in the world.
Right, but those I'm setting them up.
I bet you know all about that port that blew up in Iran.
That's a joke. Don't take me away, please.
But you know all about that explosion at the Iranian port, right? See?
Yeah, exactly.
See? Now he's got another target on his back.
Exactly.
He should have just leaned into it.
I know,
If I were him, I would have.
I know.
I've been like, we don't talk. We're not talking about that one right now. I was like, shush.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I swear.
Maybe he's on the other side. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be perceived.
That's why we don't have the processing power for the editing of the videos. He's controlling drones.
Oh, shit.
That's where
I'm gonna get locked up tomorrow.
That's where the extra CPU is going.
Exactly.
Oh no. Anyway.
Okay. It's our very own mole.
Mo.
Mole. God, I just keep coming up with them.
Bully.
How do I? There's so many times, even when we're not recording and shit.
No.
I'll come up with different ways to say Mo's name.
Yeah.
Like what did I come up with? Like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
That was one I think I did on the show though. I think I had
that was it.
It was just no, there's Mo Money.
Mode Money.
Well, Mo Money, everybody has that one.
Mo Cephas. What else have I called you? Mowgli. There's another one that I wanted to remember, and I can't remember it because I haven't used it yet. And now
I got
motorboat and son of a bitch.
I like that one.
That was good.
That's my latest one. But yeah,
I got a few people call me like Mosuf or Mosiah.
Yeah, I'm not very religious.
Hammurabi. A few people call me that. Fuck yeah, there's a lot of Mo nicknames out there.
Yeah, nobody in this country though call you those ones, right?
No, it's actually somebody who lives on the creek.
I thought it was Osama Bin Laden.
Osama Bin Laden.
Mosama. Kind of rolls off the tongue.
And I think we need to see his birth certificate.
the long form.
Are you doing an Obama? I'm Obama.
It's an Obama.
I'm Obama.
You can't be on this show unless we see your birth certificate. Now.
Yeah. It's happening. Prove it.
I'm nervous. Oh shit.
He's trying to laugh it off.
He can't stop. That's the part.
Right, because he needs to figure out what he's going to say next to fucking diffuse.
You know what he should do right now? She should break out into singing Chocolate Rain.
Hey guys, trust me. I swear to God, I'm a citizen.
Trust me. When was the last time we...
Yeah. No. Don't even go there. If you trust him, that's like trusting everybody on Tinder doesn't have a cock between their legs.
Yeah. That has gotten out of hand.
Oh fuck.
You know, I don't do a whole lot of swiping these days. But when I get on, you know, I mean, it's another thing. You know, I feel the same way I do about the trends in sports. You know, look, don't try to fool me. You know, that's what it's starting to feel like. It's feeling less like it's supposed to be equal rights. You know, I look, just because, you know, you did or you transitioned, whatever, you know, doesn't mean you should start calling yourself a girl on dating sites. Same thing, you know. And then, you know, I do appreciate, though, many that do put up the very first word in their profile is, you know, I'm trans, or, right, you know, whatever that trans flag looks like.
Did you ever see that meme where a bunch of guys kept posting that flag? Like, I don't know what country this is, but I want to go there. There's all these pretty women from there. I don't know what country this is, but for some reason, every hot girl on Tinder is from this country.
It's Thailand.
Yeah, I think it's a Thai. Pretty sure it's a Thai flag.
Yep.
Or, you know, like a regional province flag of Thailand.
You know, I bet you Juan would know.
Give him a call.
Juan would know.
Yes, he would. But I know some things we did want to touch on. You want to touch on the anniversaries for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, we got a couple of anniversaries.
I tried to lean into it with the joke, but you missed it.
Yeah, well, yeah. So what, Google launched in 2005 or something?
Before that, I thought.
Or the very
YouTube,
first.
YouTube, I thought.
Right, what did I call it?
Google.
Oh, no, not Google.
Yeah,
YouTube.
So Google does own YouTube,
right?
So
now.
I get it, but yeah,
right,
YouTube.
Right, I got a little mixed up there, but yeah, I just heard that you know, Google or fucking say it again. Fucking YouTube. YouTube is turning.
Did you have the shot?
Turns 25 this year.
Did you have little Joe's in your cup?
Hey, look, I don't know what you guys are dosing me with when I come here. Sometimes, you know, it could just be the fucking.
Hey, it was that chocolate bar. Was weed actually in there?
It could just be the natural gas leak in this fucking ancient apartment that we call a studio.
Hey, don't say that. Now they don't know how to get us.
What? Light a match.
Turn the compressor on the fucking on the refrigerator.
Hey, that was fucking weird, Joe. What the fuck? When you inhaled that, I just heard it in my ears. I was like, what the fuck was this for a second?
That's awesome. I've actually heard it for once.
Yeah, it sounds so fucking weird. At first, like, it felt like there was like a scratch on my back of my neck. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Fuck, man. That was so weird.
You know why? He's still picturing Kanye.
I wish if I knew how to fucking if I can figure out how to Photoshop, do a fucking look at Kanye sitting in the bed.
No, you gotta do the Diddy. The Diddy
thing. Yep, that's
you gotta do the Diddy in the background.
But I'm saying I put Kanye instead of Diddy because of you saying that.
So let's go back to YouTube. We gotta get his mind out.
YouTube.
We gotta get his mind out the gutter.
YouTube had a birthday, and I was just wondering, do you guys remember the first YouTube video you ever watched?
Huh.
Can you think? Do you remember? Or it's just something that really jumped out to you?
Crazy Town Butterfly music video.
Okay. I think I remember mine.
I don't know if I remember that.
I think I remember mine. It was like a funny commercial, like an animation.
Right.
And it was just I don't even remember what it was, but it was fucking hilarious. And it was just this animation about like going to the airport, getting on a plane, and like going to your destination. But it was such like that like monotone sort of like announcer voice, but it was like saying funny shit, like, you know, you get on our planes, we got this plane wrapped up tighter than a Jimmy hat. You know, like, whoa.
It's evolved so much.
Right. And I remember like I think my uncle or somebody had come over and was like, oh, have you heard of this? Like, you know, and like popped it up on the old desktop in my dad's office, you know.
So I don't know if I remember my first one, but I do remember a couple earlier ones that I saw. Which was like one of them was the I remember like the
Baby Shark.
Yes. Peanut butter jelly time.
Okay.
Peanut butter jelly time, and then
is that old?
That was pretty early on YouTube. Yeah.
I don't know. Now I don't know if it is. It could be older because I do remember my brother showing it to me, and it wasn't on YouTube. And like I remember I'd already seen the Family Guy episode where Brian does it. Yeah. And I thought it was funny, but I didn't really get it until my brother then showed me like the actual thing. I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. But I'm like, that's all it does.
Yeah. There was that one. Then I also remember the Fat Jedi.
Yes.
Remember the Fat Jedi?
It's funny you said that. I was going to go into that saying, do you remember when South Park did the episode where they brought all the famous characters in?
What in my butt?
Yep.
Give me some of that money. That internet money. Butters, we got to make a video. We're going to put you in it.
I mean, it was
the chocolate rain.
Yeah, exactly. I tried to lean to that earlier when I said get Mo to start singing Chocolate Rain.
No, I got it.
You got the joke.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I love that they did that. And like, if anyone wants to recap on some of the most famous YouTubes, that's a perfect episode to watch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the
really
Leave Britney Alone dude was there.
Oh my god. Yeah, dude, there's so.
I always forget about her. Charlie bit my finger.
Yo, Charlie bit my finger. Yeah.
What about that crazy guy who loses his shit and start like jamming the remote controls up himself and breaking all?
He was on Tosh.0 too. Yeah, did you know that?
Yeah. Tosh.0. Remember that show?
I remember the show. I don't remember this guy shoving.
Dude, so I think his mom logged him off of like World of Warcraft or deleted his Minecraft. Like, I forgot what the fuck it was.
A console system.
Yeah, it was something about it like with the console thing, right? And he was just like throwing a fucking tantrum. He was like, I hate this place. I hate everything. Grabs a remote and just like throws himself on the bed and just like just trying to
It's like thinking he would punish his mom by inserting a remote control in his own on you.
Right, because he doesn't use the remote control. He uses the console.
Right.
You gotta turn the TV on.
Who was on Touch.0? He said that like it was all like a planned thing. Like him and his brother planned out this video type of thing.
I would say that too.
But right.
If I were looking back on that, and you put me on a TV show, we totally planned it.
Yeah, this was
I wasn't that. Like my mom didn't really take that away from me. I wasn't that into the game. I'm not a fucking psychopath. It was all for we wanted to go viral before viral was existed.
But that's a good bring up. Tosh.0. That brought a lot of traction to YouTube videos and funny stuff.
Absolutely. I had one of my college roommates. They started a company called peopleatwalmart.com. Shout out, Three-Ring Focus. But they started this website, peopleatwalmart.com, and that made like one of the very first episodes of Tosh.0.
No, sure.
And it was just a picture of somebody wearing like a super tight like tank top or bathing suit or something.
Yeah.
And just the amount of like wild shapes and rolls that were in the back of this person because of how tight it was. But I mean, the whole story about how they came up with that was fucking hilarious. They walked into a Walmart in Myrtle Beach and they're like, this place, oh my God. Well, hey, you hear there was a new one opened up about 30 minutes away. Should we go check that one out? Sure, let's go check that one out. Went to that one. It was the exact same crowd. And you're like, this is, I bet they're like this all over the country.
That's how the People of Walmart meme came to be, right?
Yeah, that's how the peopleatwalmart.com was created.
All right.
And then they created, they had a couple of coffee table
now there's
books.
Facebook pages and all that stuff that do that. Those are hilarious.
Right.
I remember being at a beach with some friends and some woman was like breastfeeding her baby on the beach, chugging vodka. And I'm like on the Snapchat, I'm like, Walmart mommy?
Oh my God, that's right.
Breastfeeding her baby as she's chugging vodka out the bottle. I'm like, yeah, that's a Walmart mommy.
I was working an event.
That's a no child mommy. That's what that is. What the fuck?
So this would have been post college after they had started the company, and he had sent me a T-shirt, right? And it was a People of Walmart T-shirt. It had like the smiley face, but it was like distorted in a way. So I had this thing for a while. I had turned it like I was wearing it to this event I was working in Grant Park, and I was getting to meet some hockey players, Stan Mikita. And I think Bobby the Jet. And I took the picture and I sent it to my buddy. And he's a big hockey fan, but because I'm wearing the People of Walmart shirt, he put it on the front page of the website, right? My girlfriend at the time was in the Fashion Institute, whatever, where, top model or top fashion, wherever the show is, whatever that show is. But she was in the school in downtown LA. And she's in a class, and they were talking about this, and they pulled up the website, and she's like, and there's my boyfriend. There were people in the class that know who you are. Like, she was mortified. She's like, you gotta ask him to take it down.
I would have been like, you should have been happy. Like,
right. It's like, it's not in a Walmart,
right.
And there's a caption. It's like, look, our fans are everywhere. Here's one of our fans meeting hockey legends, you know? And like, I'm like, it's not me. Like, it's
in
not
a
like
Walmart.
right, it's not a candid pic of me shopping at Walmart.
Right.
It's me repping like the
There's
thing.
some fucking crazy shit.
There's a
Right.
big difference between being screamed world star and wearing a world star shirt.
Exactly. You know, there's a bit difference between shooting the video and being the star of the video.
Exactly.
So I remember I called them and was like, hey, she wants it to come down, but I don't. So we're just gonna say, even if she calls you and asks you to take it down, be like, Mike signed a release. Like, you know. You know, I'm not the only, you know, authority in this company. There's other people, you know. I'm one vote. If the other people don't want to take it down, it stays up, you know. Like, I'm sorry, I'm telling you the same thing I told Mike, you know, like, you're my friend, I love you, but I'm not gonna, you know.
Exactly.
Like, you know, but it was all a joke. You know, he would have taken it down, and he's like, "Do you want it down?" I'm like, "No, man. I think it's great. I sent it to you for that reason. I didn't think you were actually going to do it."
That's funny.
Yeah. So I do still have the shirt somewhere in my house. I know it.
If we find it, we should hang it up around here for an
right.
episode.
I mean, and it's been like, it was something I used to wear.
He should go to Walmart with it.
I turned it into a tank top. Like, I cut the sleeves off of it. Yeah. Like.
It's funny. Somebody was just talking about it. I was in a group chat where they're talking about, remember the shirts that like came up to yours? What are those called? The guy shirts where they used to wear them back in the 80s and 90s. The
guy shirts that were like that?
Remember the guys always used to cut off shirts?
I guess it's just a cutoff shirt.
Yeah. No, but it's like your whole stomach is basically showing and it's like doesn't go all the way down.
So I mean, on a girl, I would call it like a tube top.
Yeah, I don't know what it is on a guy, but whatever that is, they're talking about throwing a party like that where a bunch of guys come in with their shirts half cut off. I was like, that'd be a perfect shirt for that.
It wouldn't work on me.
So I remember when we would get
be a shirt underneath.
When we would get really bad sunburn on vacation, that was something my dad would do, and it pissed me off because he would do it to shirts that you were like, you didn't want to cut. You know, but he's like, oh, we gotta cut your shirt so you can still be outside or whatever.
Crop top party.
Crop top. Okay, that makes sense.
Party.
I had to look it up because that name was going to kill me.
So my dad would be like, oh, yeah, they used, you know, this is what, you know, they do, like, football players do this all the time. So he'd just say that to, like, make it sound, like, less feminine.
Right.
But, I mean, he was literally cutting our shirts above our stomachs. And it was like, why? And he's like, well, you know, your back is blistered, Mike. Like, you can't go in the sun. He's like, but I get that you want. He's like, so this is what, you know, some football players do when they, you know, the sun's on their shoulders, but, you know, they can still, whatever. It's kind of like just an added protection. I'm like, all right, whatever. And I have seen it. Like, I think like in like the Goonies movie.
Weird Science. Weird Science is the big one for me.
That's the one. Yeah, that's where I'm thinking
of
it.
With the brother.
Yeah, where the brother, he's got the cut off hoodie or something like that.
With the whitey tighties.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was some sort of like, it was some sort of like meathead style. Right. And, you know, okay, well, I guess if you've got the fucking abs to rock it, sure. You know, I was a little kid, so it didn't really matter, but I still thought it was weird.
Yeah.
It sounds pretty fucking weird.
But I guess if you got a six pack,
it still sounds pretty fucking weird.
Okay, it's cool.
But back in the day, everyone did it. Like, remember, what was it?
Still doesn't make it not weird.
Not the meatball movies, but the other ones. Porky's.
Yes. Yeah, I remember they did it in Porky's as well. Because a lot of times that's what their jerseys would look like too.
They didn't because they would just be at the top.
Right. Like a lot of times, like the old football jerseys. Yeah. You know, and then a little bit after that, they went like down to their fucking knees, so that they didn't get untucked.
Sounds like there's a group of people who were trying to keep it in for a little while. They wore crop tops and they played football together, so they could touch a bunch of men. I don't know.
Oh no!
I don't know.
Whoa!
I don't know.
You're mixing two different things.
You're ruining a couple things for us.
I don't know, man.
Stop mixing your fantasies with reality.
Fantasies. That's just pattern recognition, motherfucker.
No. There's no pattern there.
Yeah.
There's definitely a pattern.
You might want to pat some, but there ain't no pattern. There's no good game on that one, folks.
Oh, there's a good game after the game.
For you.
Yeah.
That's right in your space, babe.
Also, Riot Fest is turning like 20 or something this year.
That's crazy to think that one.
Yeah, Riot Fest. And
where are they at this year?
So they're still in Douglas Park.
Okay.
Which I'm not a fan of. You know, I went a few times when they were in Humboldt Park because it was easy. I felt like it was easier to get to.
Agree. I thought they were coming back to the city.
They're in the city. Douglas Park is in the city.
Which is the one that went all the way out south last year?
Oh, that was
sorry, that's the one I confused it with.
North Coast left Union Park and went to SeatGeek Stadium in Berwyn or Berwyn.
Okay, I knew one of them went all the way out there last year, and I couldn't remember which one. I was
right, but it's been like that a few years because now there's Arc Festival is at Union Park, and that's like a walk for us, and that's not a bad fest to go to. But I'm not one to I don't like to travel too far.
Yeah,
because the return trip, nobody ever thinks about getting back from wherever they're
because there's 10 million. It's like thousands and thousands of people. It feels like 10 million all fighting for the same cars.
Exactly.
Surge prices through the roof, and then not only that, you have to walk like a mile just to get it because you got to get outside the zone. But you're walking with the crowd of people thinking the same fucking thing.
You know what you do? You don't leave when you're supposed to leave. You just wait it out for a while, or you go really early. Which fuck are we going really early?
Right. So my issue specifically with Douglas Park is when I was student teaching. I was student teaching at a school not far from Douglas Park, and I got held up at gunpoint outside of the school, right? So I'm like, if that happened right outside of a school, you know, Douglas Park,
make it stop,
right? Like, and all I think about are just groups of people with just crosshairs on them leaving the festival. If you don't have a reliable, guaranteed way of getting out of there,
right?
I want to say my worst experience of it was probably I went to Gov Ball in New York, and they had that was like their Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
They did it on an island.
Oh, wow.
An island that is not connected to any real roads.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So you needed to get a ferry to get there, or you could walk across this bridge for maybe a mile or two and then walk down a set of stairs, and then you're still walking, more and more. Leaving that one, it was such a headache. And then and that's New York, right?
Yeah.
But still, there's all kinds of areas where, I've
watched SVU.
Yeah. I mean, I was with my wife at the time, and I'm like, shit, like every time when I was with her leaving a festival, I'm like, God damn, like it was fun going, it's fun getting ready, but not, I maybe dressed somewhat normal, but she's peacocking typically,
right?
Yeah,
wearing whatever she wants,
right?
Which I would totally support, and I would, have to stick up for.
Yeah,
I would have to, protect here and there, and the times where I'm walking and it's just us, like this long ass bridge in fucking New York, where I'm like, I don't even know how to tell somebody where I am right now if I were to call 911.
So I always picture when I think of those fests or like events like that. Remember that Chris Rock where he did that song type thing, No Sex in the Champagne Room back in the day, and he did the whole comedy. And he goes, when you're going to a party with a metal detector, it means the motherfucker's going to rob you outside.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh, yeah. Yo.
That was Chris Rock, right? Didn't he do that in a stand-up back in the 90s?
Yeah, that was one of his that was when he was doing that really smart comedy.
Yeah, when he was talking about don't ban guns, just increase the price of bullets, $5,000 a bullet. You're going to ask for that motherfucker back?
Yo.
Right. I'm like, damn, he must have really fucked up. They put $60,000 into that motherfucker.
Exactly. I like those jokes. Those were funny.
Yeah, absolutely. But so that's, so me, I hear people about, going, I haven't been to Riot Fest since it moved out of Humboldt Park. Mm-hmm. I was always hoping it would go back or to a better park.
If we get a chance, though, I've never been to Riot Fest, since I was born 10 years ago or whatever, right? But,
you're not old enough to go yet.
No. Well, they said 18, right? They didn't ever specify 18 seconds, months, days. I
think it's all ages, like Lollapalooza.
It could be, yeah.
I've seen toddlers at Lollapalooza.
Why don't you fill out the for us and see if they'll sign us up?
I'll take a look.
Yeah, we got to look that up.
Just now that you actually got our reel done for our last one, you could start sending that over as the reason we can do expos, which is kind of why we've been asking you for a month.
Hint.
Look, I've been working on it for a fucking month.
I will give you this. It is actually really good. I like the transitions and what it was. I kind of skipped through a little bit, the intro, the close, like how you set up. It was actually really well done.
I appreciate it. I wasn't entirely happy with it, but I was like, I gotta fucking send it out at least today.
I get it.
But at least that's good. If anybody has any any tips to make it better, just fucking let me know too, so it can help me out for the future too.
Yep.
But yeah.
Anyone wants to get on the show or talk shit to us, feel free to reach out to anybody personally or just on the website.
Oh yeah.
Mo handles all the booking.
I will do my best for it. Yep. Also,
we should have a girl for that.
Ryan, this bottle's like basically empty again. Come on, what the fuck, dude? You're supposed to give us like 4 more bottles or something.
He already did. You were supposed to ask when we needed it.
What do you mean?
It's in the garage, so you don't drink it when you get fucked up.
Oh, you motherfucker! You've been holding out on me.
Absolutely,
yeah.
holding out on me.
He supplies the show, not your lifestyle.
A bit of both. Hey, my lifestyle is supplying the editing, all right?
Mike knows we've had him. Like,
Fuck.
He gave us a case.
Yeah.
I heard about it, but I didn't know it came back.
The reason,
And that just points to the fact of how much you're drinking.
Yeah.
That you think you've drank a case.
No, I know about the case. I just didn't know that we had it already.
Yeah.
I remember talking about it.
Yeah.
Where do you think the bottles are coming from?
Yeah, every time it runs out on the show, we replace it.
Oh, all right. So it's about to run out on the show.
Okay. Then we'll replace it out for the next show.
All right.
Not a big issue. He's not holding out. We're making sure you don't sit there and drink the sponsor's product outside of the show.
How long has this lasted already? It's been over a month.
No, we swapped it out less than a month ago.
No.
Yeah, because when it was running low, I swapped it out last time.
Right. That was over a month ago.
I don't know.
It has been. It was over before
it's all good.
Yeah, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
I'm not fucking
Potato. What I'm gonna do is I'm
not drinking these. Like,
I'm gonna fill that up halfway with water and see how
long it takes to realize.
I want to see how it looks next week.
Are we good with the episode?
I think we just sounds like we're wrapping.
Yeah,
it
it
up.
sounds like we're wrapping up. Anything we want to throw out for next week, or something anyone want to talk about, or anything big going on?
Hey, a big shout out to our boy Jerry making something public.
Yep.
Cute little baby girl that he just. I'm assuming it's okay to talk about.
We already did one.
Snapchatted her out there or something. So that's cool. I'm real happy for him.
His pin's sitting here if he ever shows back up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got a pin sitting here right above the shot logo for Jerry to come and pick up whenever he decides to no longer have issues coming here.
Yep.
I hope you heard that, Jerry.
Is there anything you want to say at all?
No, I mean, I think we're doing good. Everything's wrapped up. We're having fun. Weather's supposed to turn around. We're going to have a great fucking summer. We're going to tear shit up. We're going to do a lot more media events and things. They'll see us everywhere. And in the meantime,
we're planning to do some more shows outside of the studio.
Yep. Yeah. Different locations, different setups. Mo's going to figure out a way to transport this shit easier so we don't have to do lavaliers all the time.
Hey,
I mean, look, he already figured out how to upload our stuff.
Yep, now he did.
With lightning fast.
The computer much fucking better.
Yeah.
Shit, dude,
all you had to do was ask the world for that fucking internet money.
See? Where's my money?
Show me the motherfucking money.
Give me some of that money.
This has been Effing Around with the Fuck-Arounds at the Clover Club. Thank you, everybody, for joining us with
Joe,
Money,
and Mo. Have a good night, everyone.
Come find out.
Come find out.
Sounds good. It's supposed to be lower.